need. One of the reasons when you detox, you have so many symptoms is your body has all these toxins inside, and to get them out sometimes can be hard. We have one of the safest ways, I believe, of really ripping apart toxins in the body and helping them leave the system. I love the fact that our company does not make claims. We don't claim to cure any illness. We don't claim to fix things. We claim to give the body what it needs naturally so it can get rid of the bad things and support the good things. And as an inventor of patents that reverse aging, it's been really important to me to incorporate some of the thought processes that I did back then into our formulas. And I've worked really hard to make them even a lot better. So they're not even the same as when we first initially filed. But I think it's important for the root community to know part of this are the products that have really grown this community. But the other part, it's you all.
So let's
it's your energy. You guys have grown it all over the world.
So let's hit on this process a little bit. And this is like the most important aspect of slow, passive, systemic detoxification, right? Of why the body responds differently at different times.
Yeah.
Right. So as we talk about continually, what you've created a mechanism to do is much like finding a masterpiece in someone's attic, right? That's been in the attic for 100 years or so.
This is a great analogy.
And you have this patina, dust and dirt, all this stuff that's been built up over that piece of art, and you can see signs of the.
I love Zona's comments, by the way.
I know.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
The masterpiece that lies underneath, and you can't just strip it all away immediately, right? You can't try to chip it away really quickly because you'll destroy the work, and it's too much stress on the piece. You can't just try to wash it all off really quickly because you'll destroy the piece. So you have to very slowly, very passively and lightly just wipe away layer by layer by layer by layer. And as you peel off those layers, you start to see changes, and there's adjustments and such. And what Clean Slate is doing, and especially in conjunction with its siblings, but what Clean Slate does is using what the body wants to dictate. And this is what's really important. It's not really an adaptogen per se, as the body's really dictating where it wants to focus, how these crystals will scavenge, toxins. But as the body,
it's not locking the toxins, by the way.
Not all of them.
No, it's ripping them apart. So I'm sure the competitors want to say that about the product, but no, it's helping rip them away apart so they're no longer toxins. And I think that's what's so important for people to understand. Clayton has worked in the detoxification industry for years.
18.
And I've worked as a scientist doing it in numerous ways, as well as delivery systems. And I think the combination of both of us, and then the science background, and then honestly the combination of you all led this energetic thing to this painting. Like he's saying, it's hidden, and now it's coming out because of the beautiful people in the root community.
And you'll have different responses based on where the body's focusing the detoxification and what happens through this process. And this is why the trace minerals are added, but also in addition, why you want to add some of the siblings like Relive, like natural barrier support, or restore and zero in, is as you start to remove things. And look, I look at the data. We sell 5 to 6 times more Clean Slate than everything else, which means a lot of people are just using Clean Slate and they're not using the siblings, which you should be doing, not because we want to see an increase in revenue, but because they're synergistically designed to work together. Because as you're cleaning things up, your body starts to do things on its own as well. And if you're adding in the right component, you're actually amplifying the body's effects for cleaning itself. Your liver's going to start working better. Your kidneys start working better. I got a cool testimonial yesterday from someone that had end-stage renal failure in less than a half. Like their doctor said, they didn't have problems anymore.
I know, but
it's not. There's just that was what they said. I'm not saying anything else.
Well, but cool. I want to be really clear.
They said thank you, by the way.
We have to be extremely careful. So those are situations that happen, And these formulations could be a part of it, or it could be something else that's happening in the body. And my personal opinion is it's a combination of everything, from spiritual energy, which is why I think meditation and prayer are so important, to what you put inside of your body, to what you're doing outside, to stress, everything. It's all important. That's why I believe energetically this community has grown this so much. I've said this before, when I did trials and testing, I kept running into facts that there were patients that had not been started on the pharmaceutical, but yet their families were praying or meditating over them and really spiritually and energetically trying to help them through their lives. But then at the same time, they were taking nutraceutical supplements. And I always caught that as a scientist. And I do believe it's the energy of this group that's really helped everyone.
And so there's a couple good points.
I've noticed, Clayton, once it gets past 1700, that's when the issues happen where they can't see it.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything about it.
Well, no, because they didn't connect it properly.
Okay.
It drive me nuts.
Okay.
So there's some really good points. So what do you do to help flush things out? The most important thing to do: hydrate. You have to have more water. But here's something that's really cool that happens, because there's a couple people make a post about, hey, why do I have pain in these areas? If you've ever had an injury, right, or you've had an area that's been damaged for some reason, heavy metals will block the healing process of that area, and they'll build up plaque, they'll build up scar tissue, which is why things happen. And something really unique starts to take place as you go through this process. As you start to clean stuff out, the body is going to start pulling those toxins from those areas so it can heal. Well, the healing process, as that begins to start, the removal of those toxins and the regeneration process can be painful for a couple reasons. One is you're actually releasing the energy of the pain of the event that took place initially, and the body's starting to regenerate. And this goes into like the mental aspect as well, with heavy metals being stored in your central nervous system and your brain, and the heavy metals actually holding on to trauma, past life trauma, and all these other stress and emotions. That when you remove the metals, you can let go of these things.
I'm just laughing at you guys, because this is the